So what do we die of here in America? There's around 2.7 million deaths in the United States every year. Now, are there more babies born than that or less babies born? How many think that there are more babies born than that? How many think there are less babies born than that? How many people don't know? Good. I love it. An honest group. Believe me, if I didn't do this for a living, I wouldn't know. As we'll talk about later on, there's about 4 million babies born in the United States every year. So we're keeping up with our death rate. That's good. In a lot of countries, they're not. It's bad. It's bad. We'll talk about that more later on this morning. Number 1 cause of death is heart disease. Number 2 is cancer. It is predicted that cancer is going to overtake heart disease as the number 1 cause of death. You know, we've got a lot of unhealthy habits, physical inactivity. Physical activity revs up your immune system. Excessive unhealthy food consumption increases our risk of cancer. Alcohol. So it's predicted that cancer is going to overtake heart disease. Number 3, accidents. We're not being careful. We're driving down the interstate, eating our hamburger, texting. Thinking we can multitask, and it's not working. Accidents, number 3 cause of death. We need to grab the phone and throw it in the back seat. We're not that important. Accidents. Number 4, chronic lung disease. A lot of that is from smoking. Number 5 is stroke. If you add stroke and heart disease together, that's called cardiovascular disease, which is the number 1 killer by far in Americans. Now, if we round out the top 10, you can see we've got Alzheimer's disease followed by diabetes. Now, diabetes is way underrated as a cause of death because on your death certificate, you only get one number 1 cause of death. And the cause of death may be heart attack or stroke, but what caused it? The diabetes. So the CDC says diabetes is way underrated as a cause of death. The flu, it can be bad. Kidney disease, suicide is a top 10 cause of death in America, and as we talked about, unfortunately, it's increasing. Now, there's a common cause of death not listed on death certificates. We're not allowed to put it on there. But the Institute of Medicine says, oh, it's in the top 10. 100,000 people die of this every year. Doctors from Johns Hopkins say, oh, no, it's much higher than that. What is it? Medical errors. Medical errors are a top cause of death in America. Folks, I'm a physician. This is my profession. I'm not happy about talking about this, but we have to. Mistakes are being made. We don't order the right test. We don't act on the test. We give the wrong medicine. Errors happen in the operating room. I can tell you, we are trying to curtail these errors, but they still happen. And the reason I'm bringing this up is that the healthier you are, if you stay healthy, the less doctor visits you're going to need, right? The less medications you're going to need, the less hospitalizations you're going to need, the less surgeries you're going to need. You don't have to interact with us. And I tell you this because if you do have a medical ailment, you need to know everything about that. And you need to look at what are there some ways that I can do to take care of that so I don't need all this other stuff that can have side effects and problems. All right. We're working on these medical errors, but folks, this is a huge problem in the United States. The top word in my profession right now among doctors is burnout. Oh, you thought it was just in yours, right? Burnout. And it's happening among the doctors, among the nurses. And if you're burnt out, you're going to make mistakes. Unfortunately, when it's what we do when mistakes are made, it can mean somebody's life. But we have people coming to work in the medical profession. They're not physically healthy. They're not emotionally healthy. They're not socially healthy. They're not financially healthy. They're not spiritually healthy. And they're supposed to take care of you. Do you think they're focused on you? No, they're focused on all their problems. Now that my husband and I have been pursuing wellness, we show up to work, bring it on. We're more focused on the patient. If you're healthy, you're going to go to your job, go, I'm ready to take it on.